we're going to give you our crew tip of the week. We always do this while guests are coming on or logging in, and so you guys get our crew tip of the week. And this week's tip is, why are new builds going down in value? Not, Tim, only in price, but in rental rates as well.
Definitely in rental rates.
Yeah, Tim, what's going on? Tell us what's going on, and what have you seen out there? Because we've had some people that bought pre-construction a while ago, moved into the property, and now looking maybe to sell, and Tim,
the prices aren't there. Gone down. Yeah. So we've also been talking to builders in town here and some people in the construction industry, the concrete industry in particular. They're telling us that the new builds, the new communities, new neighborhoods, they're really slowing down. And it's not just one area of town. Every new area that's being put up, the new communities, they're slowing right down in the new builds.
Yeah, so these tariffs, they've really come into play. People are holding off. We've seen this market. We're going to get into our market report shortly, but we want to tell you a story. We got a panic call a couple of weeks ago from Toronto, and this happened twice in 1 week. And I was like, what is going on? There's a development out on the east side of the city. Is it called, I don't know.
Belmont. No, not Belmont, south.
It's near Chester, on the way out to Chestermere. Anyway, I'm trying to think of the name. Anyway, East Hills or something like that. But there's a community right there. And one of the big developers has got a 3-phase development happening right now. And guess what? First phase is closing. And we're getting these calls from Toronto buyers that bought into these properties pre-construction and didn't fully understand what they're getting into. And this could be in any new community. You have to understand not only within the community, Tim, but within the development, how many phases are actually coming on board. And this guy rang us, he rang our leasing division to get a property leased. And he was asking, well, what would it lease for? So an average 2-bedroom unit would rent in the city for about $19.95, $19.90, right around there. Well, out in the East Hills district here, just off the number 1, I think it is, and Stony, Belvedere is the community.
Belvedere.
I'm trying to think of. You had to be. Anyway, renting a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 900 square feet has come all the way down to 1,600. And the developer, when these people purchased, offered a rental guarantee. And we always talk about rental guarantees, buyer beware. Yes, they do get you through the dark days, but this rental guarantee was at $1,360 for the same apartment. So this guy was asking us, well, can I get mine rented for $1,600? So we went on RentFaster to check, and there was 13 properties for the same price. So the answer was no. Okay.
And to add to that, just next door to the building that he bought in, the developer had put up a rental-only building. So there's another 360 units coming online this year. So not only is he competing with those, 12 to 15 to 20 units in his own building, there's a rental building right next door.
Yeah, so pretty scary stuff. And I asked the Toronto guy, I said, why did you buy this? And he said they were marketing it out there in Toronto. And I'm like, well, did you fly out here or at least work out the scope of the development or the community? And that is the first thing. And you have to remember what's going on now, as Tim just said, projects are getting shelved, okay? So as soon as projects get shelved, guess what developers do? They drop their prices, or better still, they offer more into their prices. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, Tim. You can get a free basement suite if you're building a duplex or a detached home with a basement. You can get a free suite now. That's how far it's come along. Or they start offering landscaping packages, or they put in blinds and curtains. And some of these big homes, it could be up to $10,000 to fit out like window covering. So developers will get creative and start offering this into the purchase price. And if you had bought a year ago and now they're including all that stuff, your value when your property closes, and we've seen this time again, drops to the value of those certain items. And one of them, Tim, could be a double car garage. That could be $30,000. So buyer beware on that. And what we're getting to is, if you are buying and you live in Toronto, please do your homework. Work with people that aren't just trying to sell you something and make a quick buck, but actually make you money off your investments. Because now we're seeing all these people that bought, Tim, in the last year, to a year and a half, all those values, Tim, are down. And we were just saying, we don't even know when they're going to come back.
Yeah. So not only is it inventory, it's also the uncertainty on the economy, as I mentioned, the tariff thing. Even if we're not directly affected by them, it affects the psyche of the average buyer out there, and they're just sitting on the fence waiting until they have some sort of certainty. And, you know, it may be a full year, 2 years into that administration down there in the States before we have some certainty on what's happening.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things affecting why new homes are going down in price.
Yeah. And, you know, it's not a problem buying new if you're going to move into it. But if you're going to try to rent out a basement suite in a brand new community, just go on there. We've been in up north, all these new communities. There is something like 40 to 50 of these basement suites for rent. So basement suites have come down from renting for $1,500 per month.
That's in these new builds in the suburbs.
In the new builds around the whole of Calgary, they've come down to $1,000 or $900. So that's going to hurt people's cash flows, and that's why we've been staying away from new builds unless our clients are moving into it. We have no problem with that at all. But as an investment, it's too risky right now.
Okay.
That is our crew tip of the week. If it's your first crew tip of the week, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crew TV, and watch the other tips.